Welcome back to Land a House. Let's jump right into it. Last week I wanted to give away the Through Night flashlight for the 19,000 subscribers giveaway, and it's time to pick the winner. So let's hop over to the computer here. Normally I would do a screenshot of this, but instead I'm just gonna do it live for you. So let's see, go here, paste the URL to this one, and load the comments. And you can see I've been looking up four-wheelers because there's an ad. Alright, we've got 94 unique users. Now, some of these are mine, so if mine comes up, we'll just do it again. Alright, Mr. Olson, you are the winner. So I think what I'm going to do, previously I would give this person a week or less to find out that they were the winner, and then if they weren't the winner I would pick somebody else. This time I'm going to contact you and see if you respond, and so hopefully you will, and I'll get your information and we'll go from there for your winnings. Now if this person does not respond, then we will draw again. So thank you very much for playing, everyone. And next goal is the 20,000 subscribers. And I hope to give away something nice for that as well. So stay tuned, and as usual, thanks for being here. But hope you enjoy the rest of the vlog. Last week I talked about my ant farm here, and that it was definitely needing to be taken care of. So this week I have two things. I purchased some taro ant killer, which hopefully will attract the ants and take care of them. I had a candy bar wrapper, which I'm known to do, and within a couple of minutes they were swarming that. So I think they're pretty hungry and looking for food. And then also, as it was quite commented about, I should use some diatomaceous earth. And so I actually have some from a couple years ago, food grade. I was going to put that out on the borders of the car and see if I can't kill the ants that way too. Okay, I'm going to put some of this here. Wow, that stuff comes out with a vengeance. Put some there, and then put some down here as well. And we'll see how that looks in a couple hours, if they have found that or not. And so now with the diatomaceous earth, I'm thinking maybe if I just put it just here in the floorboard a little bit. Not exactly sure where to put it. See, most of the ants I find are around this area right here. So maybe I should just maybe line here or something. I don't know. We'll just see. It couldn't hurt. This stuff is supposed to be non-toxic and all that. Okay, I don't know about all that. It makes kind of a mess, but I'm sure it will become blown in the wind before you know it. So anyway, we're just going to leave that there and work it in, really improve the value of my vehicle here. So, alright, leave that for a while, and we'll come back in a little bit and see how the ants are liking that poison. Last week I mentioned my push mower wasn't starting, and there was an overwhelming comment saying this needed to have the carburetor cleaned out. A couple of them said just try some starter fluid and stuff, but most of them were about the carburetor. So I watched a video on how to get to the carburetor, and it said remove the air filter, take out a couple of bolts, and access the filter underneath, or the carburetor up under here. So let me get some tools and we will start getting to that. Okay, I took the top off and I've got this unscrewed. Now I need to just get the wiring off, and I need to drain the gas. I just got this tub to put it in, and there's not too much left in there, so I'm gonna try and get that pin pulled out. See if I can do that. It's fun learning new stuff that I have never thought about doing before. So let's see what we get. Alright. So yeah, thought I would just catch the gas in this tub as best I can. Okay, I watched a video on cleaning out a carburetor and pulled some stuff out, and I've sprayed it with this carb cleaner. And let me tell you, a little warning, this thing will hold a couple of gallons of gas, so as soon as you pull that out, it goes everywhere. I'm going to put this back together and then we'll see if that was the issue. It looks pretty clean, so I don't think that was the problem. Well, my parents just came over and they helped to get another one of these blocks put in for the walkway. Took us a long time because I didn't have the wood frame in yet. It's a little bit off, which it's going to be okay. It's heading in the right direction. So I'm going to do smaller blocks to bring this closer to the ramp here. But anyway, so that was a good surprise for them to show up and help with that today. Actually, we'll be here in about an hour, and I got a lot of cleanup to do inside. So I'm just going to roll this into the workshop, and we're going to call it good until tomorrow, where I can come back out and get that carburetor put back on. I think it's decently clean now, so we'll get to see if that's the problem or if it is something else. Good morning. I just got done with work and got back home and checked the ant issue that I was having. I've not seen a single ant since I powdered the floor and put in the taro. So either it's magic and it scared them away, or they died from the other poison I put out, the knockout. I don't know. I'll just have to check back here in a little while and see if maybe they were just hiding. But anyway, ants are gone for the time being. Well, I know it's been quite a while, but I finally have Ashley's vanity mirror that she's been asking for finished. So getting the bulbs installed here. This thing is designed for LEDs because I'm not exactly sure what amperage lamp wire is designed to handle. So LEDs only use 6 watts per bulb, so it's not much. So let's see what we got here. It has a dim switch too, so you can bring it up to full or drop it down to basically off. So I think it's going to be pretty cool for her makeup stuff. Should provide lots of nice light in here. Well, I'm back out here with Emma. We're going to be getting the lawnmower put back together. I got the carburetor cleaned out yesterday and then it sat overnight, so it should be all good to go. It was a little easier to clean and get to than I expected. So I just had to take that off and pull it out, remove the gas line and stuff. So I've got new gas with, I'm gonna put some sea foam in there. Carburetor's clean, new spark plug, oil is changed. So hopefully that will solve all of the problems. And the sea foam should clean the gas lines if there's any problem in there. Last night about, I don't know, 12 o'clock or so, I was responding to comments about last week's video, and I put carburation instead of carburetor. I don't know if it auto-corrected or what, but was it Red Amalekai, I think was the username that told me about that, so thank you for that. You may not know, but growing up I have suffered with a form of dyslexia, and not being able to read what I'm writing sometimes is an issue. So I do agree with you on corroboration, but I meant to say carburetor. Close, right? I didn't buy a new air filter, but this one I guess will have to do for now, and I will buy a new one if this thing does crank up. Alright, that's that. Well, it's working. So my thoughts are, because it is so ragged, maybe the spark plug gap is not where it needs to be. But at least it's working, right? So cleaning out the carburetor seemed to be the issue. In 2 weeks, my brother-in-law and step-brother-in-law and I are planning on doing a probably 12 to 16 mile hike. We're not exactly sure yet. And so my dad and I are up here on the trail that we're going to be starting on, to do some practice hiking because I am really out of shape. And so far it's going well, and hopefully we'll be able to make the trip well in 2 weeks. A while ago, Ashley and I started giving Emma some semi-solid foods, and now she is doing really well. So I've got peaches here, and she seems to really enjoy them. Good stuff, huh? You better not make a mess. Good. So I knew that I had a zucchini out in the garden, and it had been there for a couple of days, and I thought, I can give it another day. Those things grow so fast. I came out to pick it up, and this thing was too big. But I was reading on the internet that it's still okay to eat them. They just may be a little bit more, just not quite as good as they were when they're small. So we give it a try. Also, it's raining outside, and I have been meaning to get out with my hammock to set it up and then measure out the length I need to cut for my bungee cord for the underquilt. And since it's raining, I'm probably just going to set some chairs up and find out the length that I need of the bungee cord, because it's almost done. I just need to put the bungee cord for the suspension, and then the cords that go underneath to cinch the quilt up to the hammock. So that shouldn't take but a second, so let's do that. Okay, I've got the hammock hanging up here on a couple of chairs. Not the most perfect setup, but I think it'll give us an idea of where the cord needs to be. So I've got this bungee cord. It's 25 foot. Hopefully it's enough to do what I need. So the plan is that I need to have, well, on the underquilt itself, there's going to be these little cord locks that go on the end. And so this cord goes through the channel, up, and then back to that cord lock. And then to attach it to the hammock, there's just either a little S-beaner or it goes into your bigger carabiner, however your setup is. So I need to have enough to go to the tree, or to the suspension up here and back, and still have enough that I can tighten it and loosen it depending on how far my trees are apart. So anyway, all that to say, I'm going to just give myself enough here, and it may end up that it's just cutting this thing in half. We'll see. Well, it's finally time. I've stepped out here to attempt to get my underquilt put onto the hammock. I just ordered some more of the stretch cord or shock cord because I did not have enough to do the way this way around the hammock. I do have the long length, so I'm just going to see about getting this under here and see how well it works. Well, I got the underquilt up, and when I purchased this shock cord from Ripstop by the roll, they recommended 25 feet for all that I would need. Obviously, that's not enough because this is basically 12.5 feet per side, and it's not enough. I had to stretch it really hard to get it to position here, and so I've ordered more shock cord that I can use this stuff for up and down here as a cinch cord, and then I'm going to use the new basically 50 feet. I can cut down to the size I need. So this is going to hang more like that and not that. So definitely still have some work to go. I cranked up the lawnmower again and let it run for a little while, and it went from a really poor run to a better run, but it's still not great. So I pulled the spark plug, and the old one had a gap of 0.02, which I tested with this, and so the new one needs to have that same gap, sorry, this one, and it is at 0.034, so it is definitely too much of a gap. So I'm going to use this little gap tool and see if I can get that fixed.
little cousin.
Oh, she's your little cousin?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, but that's how it is.
Yeah. You want to go ahead and step on that pedal for me? You want it to be kind of squishy or kind of hard? You're not too sure what to think of this. Is this your first time making a Build-A-Bear?
I made one once.
We just got back from Asheville, where we did some shopping for various things, clothes and school supplies. And my niece Lily suckered Ashley into doing a Build-A-Bear. If you want to lose lots of money in a hurry, go to Build-A-Bear. My goodness, I was not expecting that. So, I just finished my underquilt and thought it was about time to move on to the quilt itself for my hammock camping. Now, this material I already had, but I don't think that it's colandered, which means one side has been slightly heated up or burned to fill in the gaps. But I made this little, you can see that Emma's been around here. I made this little pouch and filled it with some down, and I just have been slapping this thing around and folding it up and making it, just roughing it up. And so far, after a couple of days, there has been no loss of down. So I'm guessing that this stuff is going to be great for a top quilt. And I already have it and I just want to use it. And I also have, hopefully, plenty of this mesh left over for all the baffles. So that should be fun. I've mentioned this in vlogs before, that when I don't sleep much, my productivity drops way down. And Emma is cutting teeth right now, and she is not sleeping much at all. We're talking about getting up 5 and 6 times a night and just kicking and crying. So I'm tired, and Ashley is too. And that being said, this week's vlog was a little bit shorter than usual, and that's kind of why. I would just do things around the house, cleaning, and worked on the lawnmower and got that pretty much working. So at the beginning of this vlog, you saw that I had an ad for Polaris. So since I was probably 6 or 7, I always wanted a four-wheeler. And I've been looking at garden tractors, and the lifespan for mild work on a garden tractor is like 4 and 5 years. And if you get a good ATV with pull-behind mower, you're looking at, 15, 20 plus years. My cousins had four-wheelers they just sold them, Yamahas, and I rode them when I was 6 and 7. And so you're looking at like 25 years plus that they had those things. So anyway, a good lifespan. So that being said, I'm considering not buying a garden tractor, but buying a good ATV so I can push some heavier snow, which 2 years ago we had 16 inches of snow here in one go. So definitely would need something that can push pretty serious snow. And also the mower would be great for going, up and down the roads and hitting the grass spots in the front of the house here. And also it can pull a pretty serious trailer if I need it. So that's the thoughts on that. Thank you so much for being part of this vlog. I will definitely update you if the flashlight winner doesn't respond in the next several days. And like I said at the beginning of the vlog, look forward to the 20,000 subscriber giveaway coming up. I'm Seth Johnson with Land House, and I will see you next time. Bye.